Good night. My name is Terri Moise, and I'm currently a Policy Miami Scholar at Hamilton College in Clinton, New York. I would like to take the time out, for this video to thank Mrs. Lawson for all that she's done for me, and discuss on exactly how big of an impact Miss Lawson has had on my life. So I've known Miss Lawson for around 7 years, and when she was introduced to me in, I want to say, my sixth grade year as my advocate for the Sex Talk and Children Scholarship Program. And in the past 7 years, Miss Lawson has pushed me, challenged me, taken care of me, and both influenced and inspired me to do so many things and to be greater than what I am. Mm, when Miss Lawson first met me, she recognized that yes, I am bright, and yes, there are a lot of things that I can do. But she also recognized within me there was a lack of, there's a lack of passion, and there was a lack of true hope that I'd be able to do what I wanted to do with life, because I'd seen so many other people, so many other people go ahead of me and not achieve their successes. And a lot of the time I felt as if I wouldn't be able to do that as well. Mrs. Lawson changed my mind about that in various ways. Like in my junior year of high school, I underwent oh, a surgery to place a defibrillator into my chest, and the surgery failed, and I was in pain for around 6 weeks when the surgery was potentially supposed to only keep me out of school for a week. So I was in and out of school. Like I'd go for one day and then I'd be out for the next 3 4 days, and my grades were suffering because of it. Miss Lawson recognized that, and she pushed me to remember what I'm fighting for and what I'm doing and why it's important for me to keep on going. So Miss Lawson took it upon herself, to talk with my mother and to talk with me as well, like, to discuss why it's important to keep going, to not give up, and understand why it was important for me to achieve all of the goals that I've set. Miss, Now it's getting difficult to talk about Miss Lawson because she really has done so much for me. Like I can honestly say that I view Miss Lawson as a second mother, because she is taking care of me and a lot of other students as her own sons and daughters, because that's just the type of person she is. She gives without asking for anything in return. So throughout that process, I was supposed to go on the college tour, because that was a college tour with the scholarship program Takes Lock and Children, which is something that I've been working for the longest. And my mother was fearful that I wouldn't, necessarily be healthy enough, or that something would happen while I was on that trip and she wouldn't be able to do anything, and really didn't want me to go. So Mrs. Lawson discussed with my mother, and she took the extra responsibilities upon herself to go out of her way, to double check and make sure that I had my prescription, to make sure that I didn't go on any dangerous rides, to keep in close contact with my mother and let her know, give her status updates on what I'm doing. All of this, which is outside of her job description. Why? Because she cared enough about me as a student and recognized that I've been working so hard to go to this trip, that if it was within her power to help me get there, why not help me? And I honestly, I feel as if that was the beginning of a lot of genuine moments within my junior and senior year, that just showed me, even though I'd always recognized Mrs. Lawson as someone that cares about others, it just showed me how much she sacrifices and how the dedication she has to her students. So senior year, I was nominated for the Posse Foundation Scholarship, which is a leadership scholarship for 10 students are selected to go to an institution, various institutions. So I'm currently Posse Miami 4 at Hamilton with 9 other students that I love being around, and a, a lot of that, the fact that I'm even here, I owe to Miss Lawson as well, because throughout the process, I questioned more and more, why am I doing this? When who's to say that something won't happen, that it won't fail, that I'll just be disappointed in the end. And also throughout that, I was discussing with my mother, like, does it mean for me to go out of state? Why is it important for me to go out of state? So Mrs. Lawson talked to us both again, and she, like, through each step of the process, Mrs. Lawson was there. She was like, Terry, you have the capabilities. You've worked for something like this. Keep going. Keep persevering. Let your work speak for itself. And as I continued from the first round to the second round, she motivated me. She gave me tips on interviewing. And after each round, I called her and talked to her and checked in with her about why it was important. Why should I keep doing it? And she reminded me that I have goals, I have dreams for a reason. And when I finally got to the final round, and like after I got the scholarship, she had a long conversation with my mother about my work speaking for itself. Because my mother was always fearful that I was going about me going out of state. And to Miss Lawson, she was like, Mrs. Lawson took it upon herself to just talk to her and say, like, why are you fearful? You've raised a magnificent son. Let your work speak for itself. Let who you've raised show the world what he can do. And besides my mother, I don't think I've heard many adults speak about me in that way. Like I've all people are always telling me, "Oh, you're bright, you're this," and that," but there's never been someone that's so invested in me and so invested in what I can do that they'd go to above and beyond to have to meet with my mother, to meet with my sisters, to meet with me so many times when she didn't have to get me to pursue my dreams. So Miss Lawson is one of the driving forces in my life, and she's also one of my role models, possibility models, as because she reminds me that all things are possible, and through her hard work and dedication, I am where I am today. Thank you.